Let's bring in George Tsilis, senior markets correspondent here on the network. George, we're talking Moderna. Stock was popping. It was up over 6% earlier. It's come off of those highs. It's based on, they're going to start selling their new COVID vaccine, but they've got other stuff in the pipeline. And I think, the moves in the shares maybe don't reflect the optimism that maybe some other people have, because this stock's been down pretty significantly so far this year.
Yeah, I mean, if you look at it year to date, it's down about 40% or so, and it actually peaked back in August of 2021 around 390 shares, and that's to be expected because, Moderna initially was sort of this one-hit wonder associated with COVID-19 vaccines, but again, they're actually broadening out their pipeline to different products, which include products in oncology. They're actually in skin cancer. They're also, of course, one of the leaders in respiratory care therapeutics as well. Of course, COVID-19 is where they really transformed their business, considering, again, looking at 2021, the company actually sold about $18.5 billion worth of vaccines, and they earned about $12 billion that year. And that's why the stock just ran up significantly. But look, we're entering that season again, where, of course, COVID-19 could manifest into a potential resurgence. There's always going to be now, at least in my view, some sort of a booster shot that again changes based on COVID-19 variants. The other thing is Moderna is actually moving pretty aggressively into MRNA-based vaccines for flu, and of course they're going to potentially bring out a combo COVID-19 variant booster shot alongside the flu vaccine. So I think that's a compelling reason for the business as well. Now, they do have partnerships with Merck as well as GlaxoSmithKline, and they're anticipated to actually increase their product portfolio to 15 different products between now and 2028. And the other thing is the company's actually guiding for about an additional $10 to $15 billion in sales, which actually more than doubles if they hit the higher end of that target compared to last year, where they actually had about $11 billion in sales, which was down significantly, by the way, from the previous year to $19 billion. So I think the elements behind COVID-19 vaccine are still there for Moderna. They're still selling their products at around $129 a shot. There's still demand for those, while at the same time they've been expending quite a bit of money in R&D to expand their product portfolio.
Yeah, George, 15 new products in the next 5 years and 50 medicines into clinical trials. But George, if you're betting on Moderna, you're betting on half of the U.S. population gets a flu shot. If you can get the coronavirus, the vaccine numbers up to that level, they say it's between, depending on their market share, $8 to $32 billion, George. That's really the bet here, right? Until the next big thing comes along.
Yeah, I think in the near term, contingent upon some seasonal effects from flus or COVID-19, there could be essentially a pretty nice catalyst for Moderna. I think at the end of the day, you just look at the profitability of the company. Now, last year they, like I said, earned about $11 billion in sales, but they had about $1.2 billion in net income. Now, that is far cry off of what they earned in 2021. I mean, they earned about $19 billion in sales, but they actually brought in about $12 billion in net income. And I suggest that the reason being is that there was a huge amount of government subsidies to deploy the vaccine. That was a very profitable year for Moderna. I can see why the stock made that huge run up and, of course, hitting that $390 high. But now it really comes down to, stable earnings. I think at the end of the day, there's, of course, going to be still demand for COVID-19 vaccines, mRNA-based flu vaccines, which they're going to be leading in. But again, you have to think about the expenses associated with R&D to develop these new drugs that they have in the pipeline. So, I'm going to look at the technicals. Right now, you can look at the weekly charts. It's not trading very well, but just keep in mind that, things can change, especially as we move into, cold and flu season, which is coming up in the fall and, of course, winter.
Yeah, definitely have to keep an eye on that. And I guess insurance is going to be paying that $129 fee that they're going to be charging. I think this does rely on the fact that our consumers are people going to take another shot, because the new variants, does it work on that one? Yeah, they got a lot of questions to answer, but a great pipeline so far. All right, thanks to George Tsilis, senior markets correspondent here, breaking down the story on Moderna.